Part 1, Introduction and First Points. Opening scene, a friendly host sitting in a cozy living room, sunlight streaming through the window. A cup of tea rests on the table beside them. The host leans forward slightly, speaking with warmth and sincerity. Host. You know, there's nothing quite like the feeling of hopping into your car, turning the key, and knowing you've got the freedom to go wherever the day takes you. Whether it's a trip to the grocery store, a visit with the grandkids, or just a leisurely drive through the countryside, that independence is something worth holding on to. But let's be honest, driving isn't quite the same as it was when we were younger, is it? Maybe you've noticed your reflexes aren't as quick as they used to be, or that glare from the sun feels a little harsher these days. Sound familiar? The host pauses, nodding as if sharing a quiet understanding with the viewer. Host. Well, here's the good news. Getting older doesn't mean you have to hand over the keys. Not by a long shot. With a few simple adjustments, you can keep driving safely and confidently for years to come. Today, I want to share 3 practical life hacks that'll help you stay sharp behind the wheel. Let's start with the first one, and trust me, this one's so obvious, most of us forget to do it. Cut to a shot of the host standing beside a car, hand resting gently on the roof. Host. Life hack number 1, make friends with your eye doctor. Now, I know what you're thinking, of course I get my eyes checked. But here's the thing, our eyes change faster after 65, and sometimes those changes sneak up on us. Maybe your prescription is just a tiny bit off, or you're struggling more with night vision. That's why it's not enough to just have glasses, you need to update them regularly. My neighbor, Helen, swore her glasses were just fine, until her daughter noticed she was squinting at street signs. Turns out, her prescription was 5 years old. One quick visit to the optometrist, and she felt like she was seeing the world in HD again. The host opens the car door and settles into the driver's seat, adjusting the rearview mirror. Host. And while we're talking about vision, let's not forget your car's mirrors. How long has it been since you adjusted these? If you're slouching a bit more than you used to, or your seat position has changed, those mirrors might not be giving you the full picture. Take a few minutes to tweak them so there are no blind spots. Oh, and here's a pro tip. Keep a microfiber cloth in your glove box. A clean windshield and mirrors make a world of difference, especially when the sun's low in the sky. The host steps out of the car and walks toward the viewer, leaning against the hood with arms crossed casually. Host. Now, life hack number 2, know your car like the back of your hand. We all have that friend who buys a new car every 2 years, right? But here's the truth, familiarity is your ally as you get older. The more comfortable you are with your vehicle, the less mental energy you'll waste figuring out where the headlight switch is or how to adjust the defroster. If you've been driving the same car for years, great. Stick with it. But if you do need to upgrade, maybe for safety features like a backup camera or better visibility, take the time to really learn the new system. Sit in the driveway with the manual, press every button, and practice in an empty parking lot. My buddy Jim spent a whole Saturday mastering his new SUV's dashboard, and now he says it feels like an old pair of slippers. The host chuckles, then grows earnest. Host. And here's something I don't want you to overlook. Technology is here to help, not confuse you. If your car has features like automatic emergency braking or lane assist, don't ignore them because they feel too fancy. Those tools are like having a co-pilot, quietly watching your back. But remember, they're not a replacement for your judgment. Use them as a safety net, not a crutch. The host walks back to the living room setup, picking up their teacup with a thoughtful smile. Host. Now, these first 2 hacks, keeping your eyes in top shape and staying deeply familiar with your car, are game changers. But there's one more tip I want to share with you, and it's something that might surprise you. It's not about your car or your eyes, it's about you. How you prepare yourself to get behind the wheel. But we'll get into that next time. For now, try these 2 steps. Tweak those mirrors, schedule that eye appointment, and get reacquainted with your car. You'll be amazed how a little attention to the basics can make driving feel effortless again. The host raises their teacup in a toast, eyes twinkling. Host. Here's to staying independent, staying safe, and enjoying every mile of the journey. I'll see you soon for the next part. Until then, happy driving. Part 2, Middle Points. Opening scene. The host is now sitting in a sunlit garden, a vintage car visible in the background. They smile warmly, holding a set of car keys loosely in their hand. Host. Now, let's talk about the most important tool in your driving toolkit, and no, it's not your car or even those trusty glasses. It's you. Your body, your mind, and how you prepare yourself every time you slide into that driver's seat. This is life hack number 3, tune into your body's signals. Because here's the truth, driving isn't just about what's happening outside the car. It's about what's happening inside you, too. The host sets the keys down and leans forward, their tone gentle but deliberate. Host. Let's start with something we all take for granted, energy. Remember when you could drive for hours without a second thought? These days, maybe a quick trip to the pharmacy feels a bit more taxing. That's normal. But here's the trick, listen to those signals. If your shoulders ache after 20 minutes or your focus starts to wander, that's your body saying, let's take a breather. And you know what? That's okay. My friend Ed used to push through fatigue, white-knuckling the steering wheel on long drives, until he realized pulling over for a 10-minute stretch and a sip of water made the rest of the trip feel like a breeze. Now he plans pit stops like they're part of the adventure. Cut to the host demonstrating simple stretches beside the car, rolling their shoulders, turning their neck gently. Host. Speaking of stretching, don't underestimate it. A few minutes of movement before you drive can work wonders. Loosen up your neck, roll your wrists, take a deep breath. It's like giving your body a quick systems check. And if you're dealing with stiffness or arthritis, consider a seat cushion or a lumbar support pillow. Comfort isn't a luxury, it's a safety feature. You want to react quickly if that car ahead slams its brakes, right? Well, you can't do that if you're distracted by an aching back. The host settles back into the garden chair, picking up a small notebook and pen. Host. Next up, medications. Now, I'm not here to lecture, I'm here to remind. Some prescriptions, or even over-the-counter remedies, can make you drowsy or slow your reaction time. My rule of thumb? Read the labels every time, and if you're unsure, ask your doctor or pharmacist, will this affect my driving? Keep a list in your glove box of anything you take regularly, just in case. And here's a little secret, timing matters. If you take a medication that makes you sleepy at noon, maybe save that errand for the morning. It's all about working with your body, not against it. The host flips through the notebook, showing a sample schedule with handwritten notes like take meds after grocery run. Host. Now, let's talk about when you drive. Early riser? Those quiet morning roads might be your sweet spot. Not a night owl? Avoid driving after sunset if headlights glare or shadows play tricks on your eyes. And if rain or snow makes you nervous, there's no shame in waiting it out. My cousin Martha keeps a weather checklist on her fridge, simple reminders like, if the forecast says ice, reschedule the book club. Her philosophy? I'd rather arrive late than not at all. And you know what? Her friends totally respect that. The host stands, walking toward the vintage car and resting a hand on its hood. Host. Here's the big picture, driving isn't a test of endurance. It's a skill you refine over time. Maybe you can't twist your neck as far as you used to, so invest in a blind spot mirror. Maybe merging onto the highway feels overwhelming, so stick to side streets or plan routes with left turn signals. The goal isn't to drive like your 40-year-old self, it's to drive as your best 65-, 75-, or 85-year-old self. And that's something to be proud of. They pause, looking thoughtfully at the car. Host. Oh, and one last thing, keep learning. Take a refresher course through your local AAA or AARP. Not because you need it, but because it's a great way to stay sharp and maybe even snag an insurance discount. My neighbor Frank took one last spring and said it was like discovering hidden features on his favorite gadget. Plus, he met a whole group of folks who love road trips as much as he does. The host turns back to the viewer with a grin. Host. So there you have it, 3 life hacks to keep you confidently in the driver's seat. But before we wrap up, let's talk about how to turn these tips into habits that stick. Because the real magic happens when safety becomes second nature.